hello, amigas, and welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. How exciting to have this beautiful soul in front of me, who is the queen of tech. I'm just so floored that she's here with me. She's a serial entrepreneur, board director, author, and keynote speaker. And so, who am I talking about? Oh my God, I get so giddy just thinking about this. Her name is Nikki Barua, and I'm just excited that she's here. She's the interim CEO of Latinas in Tech. So, amigas, we're in for an amazing treat. So, thank you so much, Nikki, for being here on Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so thrilled to be here, and I know this is going to be an awesome conversation.
Oh, 1000%. I'm telling you, I feel that AI has really, at least in my experience, has been such a treat because it has compressed my time when I've been working, and I love everything. I'm seriously, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty, but before we get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And just I want to commend you for all the amazing things that you're up to. I was looking through your website and your LinkedIn and all the things, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. So I want amigas to get to understand who Nikki is. And one of the biggest things I always talk about is background and where my guest is from, because it really tells you, especially nowadays, like tells you who you really are and what it took to get to where you are today. So Nikki, please share with us where are you from, your background with us here at Amiga Handle Your Shit.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you my story, but the through line of my story is all about turning obstacles into opportunities. I think that's the best way I can frame it, because my journey has been all about facing one massive obstacle after another. But what I discovered is each time you face an obstacle, it's sort of like playing a video game. You can either get stuck at that level or you can use that to get to the next level. And that is literally what my life story has been about. I was born and raised in India and grew up at a time where there were not many role models that were women, that powerful women that I could look up to and learn from. But something that my dad did that really shaped my entire life was he created this collage of pictures with powerful female role models from politics and business and science and all of that, and he put up all these pictures, and in the center of that collage he drew my face and wrote my name. But he never said a word about it to me. He didn't say, I want you to be like them, or I want you to, accomplish something. He never said anything to me. He just kept adding pictures. And I was only about 5 or 6 years old. And he put this collage on the inside of my closet door. So every day when I would open my closet, I would look at these photos of these powerful women, but I'd see myself in the center, surrounded by powerful women. And what that told me is that every woman has the power and potential to create impact and to make a difference in the world. It made me curious about them. It made me feel like they're my friends and that I belonged amongst them, that I had the right to be there, right? And that imprint pretty much shaped everything I've done throughout my life. And right from that young age, I had big dreams of what I wanted to accomplish. And at the age of 21, I came to America as an immigrant with no resources, no relationships, no privilege, nothing at all.
Right.
Just a one-way flight ticket and a suitcase full of really unfashionable clothes and $250, and like basically began my journey in America of, achieving that big dream. And in the last, almost 30 years, it's been all about breaking through glass ceilings and dreaming even bigger dreams. And what I've
Right.
learned over and over again is every obstacle is a chance to achieve the next level of growth and opportunity.
Ooh, I love that. You're speaking my language. I love, 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 love. Oh, amiga. So, okay, so you come here to America, and I know that you've done three masters, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so
Well, you know what?
impressive.
That is not a sign of being a good student. That's a sign of being very confused. That is someone who didn't know what she wanted. So I was always left brain and right brain. And, like I loved art, but I loved math and science. And I could not decide what I wanted to do with my life. So I did a master's in economics and accounting. Then I did my MBA in strategy. And then I did my master's in information systems and learned about AI back then.
Yeah.
And I couldn't decide, what am I supposed to do with my life? And all of the education in the world does not prepare you for a real career. That's what I
Right.
discovered, is that,
Right.
where you really find the inspiration to choose your path often is finding the role models. When you can see it, you can be it. And I was lucky that I found that role model and found a career in strategy that led to all of the things I did afterwards.
So this career now is in tech.
Yeah.
So you found a role model in tech, and that's how you started
Yeah,
off?
so exactly. So the time that I had graduated from business school and was just starting out, it was the dot-com boom back then.
Yes.
It was the
Oh yeah.
internet boom, and everything was all about tech. And
Were
so
you
I
were you in the
love
Bay Area at the
I
time?
was not at the time, but I was working and advising some of the world's biggest companies on how to
Oh,
use the internet and learn digital technology and expand their businesses. So it was such an amazing opportunity to get into boardroom level advisory for Fortune 500 companies and to be able to do this at the start of my career. And so, what I learned, my entire career has been in tech and innovation. So, the combination of how to use technology to grow business and to make businesses better, faster, more profitable, and using technology to do it. But all of that has been the result of really seeing the future and discovering how you can get from where you are to where you want to be.
well, apparently you were in the right field because now you're in AI, and I'm like, oh my God. I was noticing on your website you have an interview with in Bloomberg. You were a panelist at the in
Yeah.
Bloomberg, and there was something that actually two things you stated, and I said, mind blowing, mind blowing. And you said, I'm in the business of making elephants run, and I'm like, oh God. Oh my God. And I really want you to talk about that because I feel it's so important, especially nowadays.
Yeah, that's been a catchy line, but it really sums up where the real challenges are. So many companies get to this very large size, all the Fortune 500 companies, and they become really big, and they have no shortage of resources or talent or money, but they're like elephants. They're big, but they move really slow. And this is where technology can be the game changer, because with technology, you don't just get results, you get speed. And that's really what I've focused most of my career in, helping large organizations go, achieve that kind of speed. And really, that's how you make elephants run. And that same opportunity today is getting even greater with AI. But the truth is, it's not just about big companies, it's also about individuals. Because how often does it happen that we get to the top of our career, get to a senior level, but you become like that elephant? You slow down because you stop
Yes.
taking risks, you
Yeah.
stop innovating, you get very comfortable in what you already know and what you've already achieved. So you start
Yeah.
going forward.
That's right. It's such a huge challenge because you get to the top and you're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, as we say, manos arriba. Like it's like a, hey, that's it. Let
Yeah.
the younger generation handle all those things. But no, that's not the way we should be. And especially as Latinas in AI. So I was thinking, I'm like, what is at stake for Latinas and how the world is changing with AI. So what do you think? What advice would you give Latinas and to not be in fear and give up? Instead, why don't we get some education behind AI? What is the big perspective that you can show us?
Well, look, I've been in tech and innovation for almost 30 years now, and I've seen one new technology after another come and change the world, right? But I've never seen anything at the speed and scale of AI and what it is doing to completely disrupt the way things are and introduce an entirely new way. And when something that is that disruptive happens, it can really destroy lives and careers. Everything that you thought was safe and everything that you thought was guaranteed goes away. Yeah. And that's the real danger in what we're facing today, is that the speed at which business is changing, work is changing, careers are changing. If you don't change faster than that, you're going to get left behind and everything that you have can be wiped out. So when something like that happens, you have to not only adapt quickly, but you also remember that what is a disruption can also be a huge opportunity.
Right.
And that's what I really believe is the thing that Latinas should not miss. Don't think of it as, oh, I'm not techie or I'm not into AI. I have my own business or I'm in marketing. It doesn't matter what field you're in. AI is going to change it completely.
Yeah.
So either you can be the late adopter and face risk, or you can be the early adopter and speed ahead and get more opportunity, more economic benefit, and most importantly, you can shape the future you want to live in, right? Because if you are not participating in it, someone else is designing that future world, and your voice and your vision will not be included in that. And that's really why when I think about the work and the mission of Latinas in tech, that's really at the core of it. We want to prepare the future leaders that are going to build the kind of world we want to live in, that will shape the technology, that will get the opportunity, and actually benefit even economically from it.
Yeah. And so what do you think would be like the first step in that? Because there's so many amigas that they're like, AI, oh, I know. No. Like they're so scared.
Scared of that.
What is your advice for that woman? What would be the first initial step to get educated, take a course, or what do you think?
Yeah, I love that question because so often I hear people give the wrong advice for that. A lot of times the first reaction is, oh, AI is like taking over. I need to learn AI. I'm going to sign up for a certification course and I'm going to do something very technical. Here's the best part about AI. You don't need an engineering degree. You don't need to go to Stanford for it. You don't even need to be technical. You just need to be curious. Have fun with AI. Anytime there's something new, it's very scary and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by it and not do anything. But whenever we feel like something is fun and playful and we get curious about it, it becomes easy. So get curious about AI, use ChatGPT, play around with things. And when in doubt, like this is where a community comes in. Right? Because when you're you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? So surround yourself with people that are in that field, that are curious, and that's why our community at Latinas in Tech is really building that fluency for everybody, because you can level up together. But the first step is, instead of worrying about a course and a certification, just have fun with it. Get curious and play around so you can get comfortable with the new technology.
Yes. As soon as I found out about AI, and I have a mentor who had like a 6-hour, which I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. As someone who's 51 years old, I'm like, I don't have this much time just to learn things. But I'm like, okay, I was very appreciative and I learned a lot. And I started thinking, like, what can I do with my community? And I started thinking, okay, I could build a course, like AI 101, very basic, how to do prompts, which AI tools can you use and whatnot. And I thought, I think this is something that even I am not an engineer. I'm a lawyer. I'm very, what is it, left side brain.
Yeah.
But now I'm on the right side thinking, because of the podcast and doing all
Yeah.
these creative elements. But I'm thinking, okay, as the leader in my community, like I feel like this is something that I should invest in, and I want my amigas to invest in. Now, obviously, I'm a risk taker. I do it. I took the risk of leaving the practice of law and doing this as my job, right? So what about that amiga out there who's really scared of what is going to happen? They've been so invested in real estate or in banking.
Hmm.
What can you tell the amiga that don't be scared? Like, aside from learning AI, what can she do?
Yeah. Well, first off, I think the fear is real with AI. There is real risk. I wouldn't say don't be afraid. I would say be afraid, but don't let the fear stop you from taking
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
AI is truly going to, disrupt industries and professions completely, unlike anything else that has happened before. There are certain professions that will face massive damage, and there will be lots of jobs that will be lost. I think that is all very likely to happen. But you can either let that fear get in the way of change, or accept the fear and take action.
Right.
And the best way to overcome, and this is something I've lived throughout my life, is I have felt fear lots of times, like starting a new business or taking on a big responsibility. There's always fear. But if you face your fear and start taking action, you have the ability to do something different. And the reality is, AI is not going to take your job or kill your business, but the person who's better at using AI will take your job or compete better in your business. And so don't let somebody else define what happens with your future. AI is all about combining your creativity and wisdom with the power of that technology. So be the one that embraces it first. Just don't stay stagnant. Take action.
Right. 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 And I was also learning that you guys will be having a summit or a conference very
Yes.
soon. Is that
Yes.
open to the public, or is it only open to those who are in tech?
No, it's open to everybody. That's the best part. So Latinas in Tech Annual Summit is May 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's 3 days of absolute action-packed transformation. Our focus for this summit is really empowering our community and our attendees with the tools, the inspiration, and the community support to become future ready. So everything is, it's not going to be passive where you just sit back and listen and feel inspired and go back to your normal life. It's all designed so you can participate, learn something new, and actually change your life and build your career. So whether you're in tech or curious about tech, whether you are simply wanting to attend a powerful tech conference with the world's biggest companies and meet great speakers, this is going to be equal parts career transformation and family reunion. It's all designed for people to feel like you belong there, and
Right.
that you don't have to be alone, you don't have to be the only, and you don't have to fear change or new ideas.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. So, amigas, you heard it here. And how could they purchase a ticket? Going through the website, or
Yes.
where
So
can we?
go to latinasintech summit.org, and you can buy a ticket. You can even get your company to sponsor you, and come to the event with friends. We've got lots of specials, which we'll link through the show so you can get access to that. But wherever you are, this is where the action is. So if you are thinking about what AI is going to do, or worried about it, or you want to get the next level opportunity, this is the conference to attend and make new friends and learn about new things.
Oh my God, I'm getting excited thinking like I should be there.
You should do that.
Yeah, right. I should definitely be there. Wow. So, I really want you to also to talk about, I know that I'm a person that loves change, but at the same time, it's scary. And you talked about it and about fear, and don't let that hold you back. So we go to the conference. Let's hypothetically put this out. We go to the conference and we get inspired, and then we come back and we're like, we don't do anything. Tell us the urgency, especially as Latinas. We really need to implement this stuff, because I want to put it through their thick skull that this is so important.
Yeah. Well, change is always scary. But the reality is everything is always changing. Nothing stays constant. We are changing. Even biologically, we're constantly changing, right? The world around us is changing. The only constant in life is change. And the best way to adapt to change is baby steps. Whenever we feel like it's too big, we do nothing. So the simplest way to address that change is take a baby step. So anytime you attend a conference or learn something new, pick one small thing that you can implement and find someone to hold you accountable. If you can pick that one action to take and you can find that one friend who's going to hold you accountable, and you take that action that one time, the second time you have to take action becomes a lot easier. And then, over and over with that repetition, before you know it, you've become a different person. Yeah. The other thing that is really helpful when it comes to change is imagine the next version of your identity. Anytime we want a new behavior, like maybe you want to start working out every day, but today you don't work out at all. Well, you have to shift your identity to become the kind of person who is all about fitness. Because when you shift your identity of how you see yourself, the actions and habits become easier to adopt. So instead of thinking, I'm not a techie, I don't know AI, I'm just in marketing or I'm in operations, that's not who I am. Just imagine that you are an innovator. Find that one thing to do and surround yourself with people that fit that future you.
Right. Oh, I feel like that it must have been so important when your daddy was making that collage. Like you could see yourself being that person.
I could totally see myself. That's why taking big risks didn't feel scary, because it simply felt like the thing that future me would be doing.
The future you. Yes, yes. Okay. So, Amiga, I mean, there's so much we can talk about. I'd love to give the floor to you. What do you feel that is so essential for us as Latinas to really, really start doing? Because I think that, yes, we are going to get involved in AI, but what is the next level? What's out there? What do you see?
What I truly believe is critical for our community to level up and to take space is to dream bigger. Mm-hmm. You can never grow past the size of your dreams. But so much of our conditioning often gets us to become small, shrink to fit into a box, fit into other people's expectations, not break the rules, not upset anyone, not disappoint family, not move too far away. All of those things get in the way of what we are able to do.
Right.
The first step to all of that, to let go of that, is to dream big. When you start dreaming big, you suddenly realize that anything is possible. And when I look at the future, especially in this AI-driven world, there's endless opportunity to create impact, to create generational wealth, to be at the top, whether you have a corporate career or you want to build a big business. Anything you can dream of is possible, but you have to start by dreaming of it. And one of the ways that dreaming becomes possible is when you surround yourself with people that have been there, done that, right? Because visibility is the key to that. So if you've already achieved a lot, make yourself visible, because somewhere out there is a young girl who's looking at you and believing that she can become like you. And if you're just starting out, look for role models and mentors and sponsors who can take a chance on you and open doors for you.
Oof, 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 oof. Oh, that is so important. It's so beautiful what you're saying. I'm thinking of, you're saying the, visualization, dream bigger. And somewhere I heard that AI agents don't have that capacity to hallucinate and dream, but they will very soon. And I'm thinking, holy shit.
Yeah.
Is this true? I mean, you're in the tech space, so I'm wondering, is this true?
Well, look, AI is developing in so many ways so fast that anything that is not possible now is going to be possible in the near future, right? But here's the thing that we will never lose as humans, it's our innately human skills, creativity, compassion, connection, wisdom. That is something that is always going to be ours. And rather than think of, humans competing against robots and AI, think of it as how can it amplify your own superpowers. What God has given you is yours forever. But how
Yes.
can it become even bigger, even better with AI? When you think of that collaboration between a human and AI, that's the magic. That's where the magic lies. And rather than fear it, embrace it, because your superpowers, who you are, be unapologetically authentic and magnify yourself.
Oh my God. Such perfect language, such perfect. I kid you not. Oh my God. Okay, amiga, I know that we're getting towards the tail end of our conversation here, and I always ask my amigas for one or two tips on how an amiga can handle her shit. But girl, you've been giving us lots of bombs here, lots of gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, well, my ultimate, recommendation and advice is always live life on your own terms, because you can live with a lot of disappointment, but regret is a heavy burden to carry. And every choice we make, every decision, every step we take, there's always two options. Live with, choose the one that you can truly live with. And no matter what comes your way, you'll be at peace with yourself and you will learn to be authentically you. And that, what makes us different, becomes our biggest differentiator.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very, very true. Ooh. Is there anything else you'd like to tell amigas across the globe that we haven't touched upon?
Well, we did touch upon it, but I'm going to give a reminder again. If you are anywhere around the world, be sure to check out Latinas in Tech. It's an amazing community dedicated to lifting and leveling up leaders for the future. And this is where, no matter where you are in your career, what you plan to do, it's an amazing place for you to find like-minded people, all the access to the resources, because access is the game changer.
Yeah.
We learn how to keep our head down, work hard, and hope that someone takes a chance on us, and we keep waiting for that to happen. Well, that's not the secret to success. The secret to success is all about access. And access happens when you're in the right rooms, surrounded by the right people. So I hope this
Yes.
is an invitation for people to join our community and to know that so much is available to you when you're simply in the right places with access.
And you don't have to be an engineer to be a part of Latinos. Because I think that is the biggest misconception, at least that I would
Yeah.
have and other amigas.
Hey, I'm
Like,
not an engineer either, So tech is everywhere. Tech is in every industry. It doesn't matter whether you're in healthcare, automotive, or retail. Everything is tech now. So
yeah.
it is a community that is all about the future.
Right, right. Well, yes. I mean, it's cutting edge. It's here. It's gonna be here for a long time. And if we don't jump aboard, we're gonna get lost
Yeah.
in this whole equation. Oh
And
my
look, if not
goodness.
us, then who? Because if you want to change the world, don't wait for someone else to do it. You've got to
Yeah.
do it yourself. And the path to doing it is through tech, right? So we
Oof.
need more of us participating, shaping, inventing, creating. Because if we wait for someone else to do it, it's going to be a world that's not designed for us.
Right, right. It definitely is. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for all the things that you've been doing. And if I'm going to make it a plan to go to this summit, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try to do it for sure. And amigas, we're going to put everything on the show notes so that they can just go in and find Latinas in Tech and get their ticket. And we'll see each other then. Hopefully I get to meet you in person.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here on Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. Thank you, Nikki.